to the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast, episode 615. I'm Adam, and I haven't really paid much attention to the quotes because I've been
of course you haven't.
busy. And here, just on his own, is Kirby Bartlett-Sloan.
I once towed your planet halfway across the universe with this TARDIS and turned a Slitheen back into an egg. So let's give it a go.
Yeah. Did you like the little bit of poetry I did just a few seconds ago off the top of my head?
Yes. Also, the Woolly Rebellion in 193 years is a total renegotiation of the sheep-human relationship. Utter bloodbath.
Yeah, I take it from that you didn't like the poetry that I pulled out.
Yes, I did.
Well, you didn't say so. We just went off about quotes and stuff.
Yes, I did.
I think you got slightly distracted there.
Yes,
we're back after a period of time. And we're here to do a talk about what's it called again, Kirby?
Master?
No, it's not called that, no.
No, I figured out what's going on. Why you have no viewers. You actually do have viewers. You're posting it to your personal page, not the 20 megabyte.
No, it says here, Adam Pearson is live on the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast Facebook group, which you can join. So that's not true. I'm not posting it to my personal page.
I don't see it there on Facebook. I do see it on my phone. That is
no, it's not coming up. I'm going to go to the. This is great podcasting as ever.
Yes, it is.
The 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast, and I'm just going to go to the page that I referred to, which is
there it is. And there are. Yes, it's there. There are 3 comments.
Yep. I see it, but I don't see it where you saw it. I see it on the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast Facebook
I do too now.
Which you can do. And I can see 3 comments and 1 viewer, according to the little thing at the top of the screen. But as I was trying to say, we are going to do the customary 2 episodes, which is It Takes You Away and the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos. Where on earth did he pluck that name out from? Mr. I must have written that on.
Chib.
You must have written that on the New Year's Day or something like that. Had a few sherries to come up with the title like that.
I don't understand Chibs.
I don't think Chibs understands Chibs, and nor do Pip and Jane Baker. Oh, they're no longer with us, are they? Anyway, so we're better before we.
I'm still amused. I ran across the interview that he had when he was 16, when he was complaining about Pip and Jane.
Yeah.
And he did worse.
Yes.
He was complaining that they were doing.
Yes. But anyway, we have stuff coming through on the live feed. I do like that. It's my favourite part of the show where I actually say those words. Lily and Robin, 2 viewers. Terry Miles, there are 2 watching. Just different versions of the same title. Lily and Robin, hi. Paul Wilson, Daddy, said yo. So, we can embark on the show. Oh, God, my voice just went then. That wouldn't be very good for podcasting. Mind you, I've done it before. So, thanks to
you can no longer summon the Han Moon.
The what?
Sorry, I've been watching watching K-pop Demon Hunters too much lately.
Each to their own. Right, I'm going to try a different method.
You haven't seen it?
What?
You have not seen K-pop Demon Hunters?
No.
It's
I think I've
brilliant.
heard of it. I've heard of it. Is that enough?
No.
Right.
Watch it.
Right. I have audio feedback from Andy Nunny, which may not traverse the internet waves due to weird stuff that goes on through doing messenger conversations. But I've copied it to my downloads folder, and hopefully that won't happen. But Kirby, right? Please be aware. A period of time in which you will not be able to hear anything, or may not be able to hear anything, will occur in 3, 2, 1.
Well, good afternoon.
5 minutes and 52 seconds.
Here. It is Sunday evening. I'm just running a bath before having dinner, and then tomorrow, of course, it's back to work, because sadly I can't afford to retire yet due to the little person downstairs, but hey, that was our choice. Anyway, some time ago I watched It Takes You Away, and I really did enjoy that mostly. I thought the idea was very clever about you going into, firstly there's a scene in the abandoned house, and then they go in and find the speakers around the houses, and they found a creature outside, this young lady called Hannah, I think, is it Hannah or Hanny? I can't remember how you pronounce it.
Hannah.
Who's living there, but her father's disappeared. Now, there's no obvious way anywhere he could have gone, and they're trying to go out and trying to find him, and then suddenly they go through the mirror. You know, there's shades of not quite Chronicles of Narnia, that's going towards her. Perhaps Alice in Wonderland is perhaps a closer one. Very good for the Guildford connection there, of course. However, what is interesting, you're going into this anti-zone, and it's the Doctor realises it's a buffer between universes. I think that's a very, very clever way of doing it. I don't think we've seen this before. We've actually seen other universes, but never what's in between, you know, some sort of portal about that. And then you find that in there's Eric's talking to his wife, who's dead, and then actually this Grace keeps coming out, and the Grace does keep coming back. Sometimes it's just in Graham's imagination. But I think that really shows the relationship, and he's still struggling to come to terms with her death. You know, fortunately, Dawley's very much alive. I've lost both her parents, and I think it's something that people do really struggle with. Dawn as a counsellor has told me about some people and how they do struggle. I can do understand that. And clearly he doesn't want to let go, and he wants to keep her, and he thinks he's found a way of doing this. But it's interesting that his daughter, Hannah, realises that she's not really her mother and she's an imposter, and is sent back into the anti-zone as a result of that. And it's the group's presence that are actually causing the problems within what they call the solid track, that was it. And it's the bit that I just didn't really like about this is where the Doctor's relationship with it, because he just seemed to suddenly go from, this thing seems to be trying to kill everyone or trying to keep them for their own uses, and then suddenly, oh, you're my best friend. The bit with the frog was actually quite entertaining, because it's, why not a frog, I suppose? But having Grace's voice, again, it's getting that familiarity with what you've lost, and people want to keep this, there's, as I said the other day, on Friday when my father would have been 101, my one big regret is he never knew Zach, never knew his grandson. That's one thing I'd always love to say is, Mom, Dad, meet your grandson, but unfortunately I can't and never will. But I think you can understand why Eric wanted to do this, but it's the... It just didn't quite ring true the way that happened, or the way the Doctor suddenly became a best friend. But it happened, and Doctor got released back, and despite the fact she'd offered herself, Eric decides to go back to Oslo and rebuild his life there. And the best thing is always Ryan bombed to Graham and said Grandad for the first time. It's really recognising what it is Graham's trying to do, though I think that Graham did try and push a little bit too far at the end, and back off a little bit. But yeah, all in all, it was an interesting episode, a good concept, just the end just didn't quite work for me.
I'm going to pause it there because obviously I want to talk about It Takes You Back because
away.
I remember,
It takes you away.
It says it takes you back is what Andy calls it, so I'm going to call it that.
Oh. Okay.
Now I'm going to talk about It Takes You Away because I remember loving it at the time, and thankfully I was correct to love it at the time because I loved it now. Great story, great atmosphere. I do love, is it Hannah? I think he called him Hannah, but I'm sure it was Hannah, the girl.
Something like that, yeah.
I like the concept of, that being sort of, we were initially conned, I feel, although in the back of your mind you're thinking, why would Grace be there? Or maybe she is alive in this world, And it was quite good because I feel personally, because I was conned, some of the audience would also have been conned, like Graham was, like Hannah's dad was, and that element of it turned it into a really sort of gripping story. The underworld thing, I quite like that. It's reminded me a little bit of certain aspects of Stranger Things. The killer moths again, something new, and a bit like the Vasta Narada, to be fair, but still quite a good invention for this story. And just a standalone Doctor Who story, which for me had a good spooky, gripping element, and I thoroughly enjoyed. And I'd be quite interested to hear, Kirby, what you thought of it.
Okay, I liked it better. However many years later.
Oh yes.
What is it? 5, 6, 7 years later. I liked it better now watching it 7 years later than I did at the time. I remember kind of liking it at the time, but I had some issues. But I always have issues. I still have the same issues for the same things, but not as bad. I do not like the anti-zone section. Ribbons makes no sense.
It may not make sense, but it's a bit of fun, Kirby.
Ribbons makes no sense whatsoever. He should unless it was just the whatever the alternate universe is called, I forget what its name was. But he should, either he's a construction of the alternate universe, or he makes no sense. He was raised there, knows English. There shouldn't have been any way the TARDIS translation. So he gotten in there. He knows enough about the humans to interact with them, and he should know better than to leave the light to be eaten by the moths. Basically, that whole segment falls flat to me. Other than that, it's a really good story, and I thought the acting was great. The dad, Eric, is the worst dad on the planet.
Yes.
And off the planet in an alternate universe.
No, I don't think he's so much the worst. He's just the stupidest, I think.
Yes. But it's a nice average story. It's not one that I would not go back to watch again. Although oddly enough, I'm finding myself going back and watching stuff again that I've said that I wouldn't again. Yeah. I just watched Silver Nemesis last week.
Oh, that's worth watching. It's good. It's good.
Well, I was on the Earth Station Who podcast.
Oh, okay.
I had to.
Well, it's definitely worth watching.
Yeah, it was fun to watch, particularly that they improved it on the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
The Blu-ray collections, they improved it, and they added cybermats in one scene and just made it better. But anyway, go listen to Earth Station Who as well.
Trying to plug other podcasts on the show. What a surprise.
I had to do something. I wasn't able to get my need to be on a podcast fix.
Anyway, well, the comments are not refreshing for some reason, and not as in they're not refreshing. It's not a critical assessment of the comments, that I can't actually see them because they're not refreshing on the screen at the moment. So I'm going to move on to the second half of Andy's feedback.
And then we come instead to the battle of now. I'm going to really mess with it. The Battle of Ranskoor av Kolos. And that's the way I read it. That's the way I think it's pronounced, but no doubt Kirby will correct me as well. This one I didn't quite enjoy so much. Again, promising start. It's the wrecked spaceships, the ones that have been drawn in. It's a bit like the Silence of the Rocks, if you know your Greek mythology, bringing them in. And you've got this psychic field as well. Now they meet Patralki, I think that's how you pronounce it again, who Helen is going to says what's going on, because they're in the one ship and there's where are the rest of the crew. And it's interesting that when Tim Shaw comes back as well, Graham doesn't quite lose it, but obviously he's absolutely living, the man that's what you can call him, who killed his wife.
Yeah.
And I think he said, no, if I have to kill him and I can never travel with you again, so be it, that's it. Again, we will hopefully never ever understand that, the hatred and anger that somebody can have to what Graham has gone through. Now, Graham and Ryan looking for the crew, so I think it's good the way they split them up, because there are really too many people in the crew with the Doctor. 3 is too many. And unfortunately, Yaz became a bit of a spare part here, whereas Graham and Ryan are doing the all-action stuff. And it's interesting the fact you found out what Tim Shah's like, that he's set him up as a demigod, and you've got these two acolytes who really believe in him, and then it's the way the Doctor actually persuades and convinces the two acolytes that what's wrong with this, explains them to the Ox that they're being exploited. Now, the planets go back to the original space because the Doctors work with them, which I think is quite good. Ryan and Graham, the action heroes, managed to free the crews, and obviously Tim Shaw's a bit annoyed, and there's Graham waiting to shoot him. Now, he does shoot him in the foot, of course, and then they lock him in the safety chamber. So again, they haven't killed him, but he's gonna live. He's gonna live an awful long time, and he won't want to. And again, it just sort of this story stops rather than coming to an end. I think it was fairly obvious what's going to happen. I think everybody knew that Graham would find the decent man inside him, and wouldn't kill Tim Shaw. And perhaps Graham has, come to terms with the fact he's lost Grace. But again, it just could have been slightly better the way it ended. I think that's perhaps my concern. But no, it's fun. It's enjoyable. I think this first series for the new Doctor has been quite entertaining. He's had a few ups and a few downs, and well, we knew what was coming, unfortunately, but hey, there you go. Anyway, until next time then, I'll be seeing you.
No, well done, Andy. And thank you for saving me the necessity for doing this synopsis. Right. I have to say, with this story, I did like certain elements of it. I liked the look of it, a certain degree. Ooh, I've got to turn my volume down. I'm coming up on my phone. But I couldn't engage with it. I found myself getting distracted and looking at other things.
Wow.
Pardon?
Interesting. Wait until you hear what I have to say.
I thought the cast was really good. Obviously, Mark Addy. I mean, I've met Mark Addy, so he's quite iconic. I thought the character he played was a bit. Well, he kept forgetting stuff, didn't he? So that sort of didn't. It was like when characters keep forgetting things, it sort of lacks a certain element of depth for me personally. What else? Yeah, I just couldn't keep up with it because it was in one place and then Tim Shaw was in it. I sort of woke up when Tim Shaw came back into it. I remember the bits I do remember is that Jodie was fantastic as the Doctor. Very sort of, her presence in the story was very Doctor, and a great performance by Bradley Walsh as Graham. But as far as the story goes, I couldn't really. I don't know if you can call it a story. I think it was more of a situation. And it was just an excuse to a certain extent to rehack Tim Shaw and to maybe get a bit of revenge on Tim Shaw that was sort of appropriate for obviously what happened to a character they should have kept in Doctor Who and not had one of the other companions. Maybe Ryan should have stayed behind, and it should have been a married couple in the TARDIS with Yaz, or the other way around. Maybe Yaz should have stayed on, and then Yaz would never have fallen in love with the Doctor a couple of series later. But yeah, I don't like to say that I don't like it, but I just don't relate to it. I wouldn't watch it again. I certainly not unless I really, really had to. But I couldn't say it was a bad story because I think there's lots of stuff in it that are actually, that's quite interesting to a certain extent. But then it just dips, and then you get distracted easily. I just didn't find it very engaging. But I don't want to go the whole Hulk and say it's a load of rubbish. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I think that's probably the best way to put it. I just don't know what to make of it. I keep mocking the microphone because I've got it at the side. What's coming through on the live feed? There was stuff coming through. There was people saying they can hear the audio, and Lillian says she can see captions. That's good then. Then she said she's having problems adding comments. I have to drop out of the chat and then restart again. And I said I can see them on my phone. And then Lillian said I watched this one on my phone. Oh, there you go then. Right then, Kirby, what did you think of this one?
Well, what a difference 7 years makes.
Mm-hmm.
I found this one 7 years ago to be somewhat average, maybe a little worse, maybe a little better. I was back and forth. Several weeks ago, I went back and listened to us, and I liked it sort of, but it was very average.
Mm.
This time, yeah. I was so engaged in it.
Oh my God!
It was very, very good. I don't know why I didn't like it before. Maybe I was bothered by that we had Tim Shaw back. Originally, but no, this was good. It was engaging. It was, I found it interesting, the parallels back to Pirate Planet with the squished planets.
Oh yeah, I remember that was quite good. Yeah, but copycatty, and quite copycatty, Kirby.
Yes, and I expected the Doctor to go, "What's it for?"
Yeah,
but. Unfortunately, there was no parrot and no Mr. Fibuli.
Well, I think the Doctor could have had been nice for the Doctor to recall something about it. I've seen this somewhere before, sort of thing.
Yes, I enjoyed the heck out of it this time around.
Okay.
It was great.
Okay, that makes me feel really bad because maybe I just should have. Maybe I was doing other stuff. Maybe I had it on the background, and that's why I couldn't engage with it.
Yeah, maybe you were just not in it. Or remember, you were not feeling well.
Oh, of course I wasn't. But I watched. I saw the other episode at around about the same time. So there we go. Okay, well, thank you, Kirby. How did you get on with your trying to discover archaeological feedback on this?
Well, we didn't have a whole lot.
No, okay. Right. Well, I've got some come through now, so let's go.
Yeah, well, here I do have some, but it's something just popped up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I just want to know about the feedback.
Let me refresh this. I got some. Apparently, it's just Captain Kirk's script, but
yeah, don't worry about that. It gives the game away.
I'm not even sure where.
You're not even Tim Shaw where?
I'm not even sure. Anyway,
Oh,
I've got Mr. M's feedback. Hello.
So I'm on form tonight with the comedy, and it's just passing you by. I don't know why I bother. I really don't. Anyway, carry on.
This actually says 7 weeks ago. Was it that long?
Oh, I don't
know. Anyway, Mr. M.
Yeah. Ooh, Mr. M.
Ribbit, It Takes You Away by Ed Hay.
I forgot about the frog. Can I say, I wasn't quite sure what to make of the frog, whether they should have CGI'd it or just had it as a glove puppet. But anyway, carry on.
Well, I had the impression then, I have the impression this time around as well. It's a combination of a puppet and either an animatronic or CGI.
Yeah.
It's a combination of things.
Yes.
Anyway, back to Mr. M.
Right.
I like this story. Ellie Wallwork is great as the blind girl. Bradley Walsh plays the scenes with not Grace really well.
Yep.
And I like the idea of the frog. I just think that the puppetry veers too much into, well, Muppetry.
Nice.
Less would have been more in that case. I found everything in the anti-zone pointless. Yeah.
Oh,
and D not like ribbons. And I agree with
Mr. M
there. That I would say did not like ribbons. Removal of that detour would have vastly improved the story. I'm starting to find this a common theme with the Chibnall. Remove some of the weaker elements and the stories would have been much better. Yep. 7.5 out of 10. And then continuing, you ain't half made a mess in here. The Battle of Rabbits and Koalas by Chris Chinbaugh. There's a quote by RTD from Somewhere or Other about how if you start an episode on the planet Zog with the Zog people talking about Zog problems on their Zog planets, the audience will immediately stop paying attention because nobody cares about the Zogs. I can confirm that this is true. I did not care about most of anything in this story. It's rubbish, or it could be rubish. The plot is incoherent, and the alien Zog monster is mind-sappingly boring. Tim Shaw is less interesting here than in his first appearance, and that was a low bar to begin with. Graham looking for revenge on Grace? I just don't buy it. Nothing about the episode engaged me for its entire duration. It's one of the weakest episodes of Doctor Who ever.
So he agrees with me.
Though unfortunately there is worse to come.
Oh dear.
Is that a cry of Benny? I can hear.
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't say it. Sorry, carry on. I just thought of something and then I realised I didn't need to say it. Carry on.
1 out of 10 if I'm feeling generous.
Anything else?
That's basically it.
No,
all
sorry.
the other threads are just, we're recording this day. No,
okay,
we're not.
No problem.
Are you
yes,
sick?
you don't have to say that.
Sorry, get
yes,
better.
That's fine. You don't have to say that. Anyway, your argument about the the ribbons bit, a science fiction fantasy TV show, just saying. Right.
Oh, really?
I've got what?
Oh, really?
Yes, really. Some feedback. If anyone has sent feedback into the 20 megabyte Doctor Who podcast, which you can join, and I haven't ended up reading it out on the show, apologies. Fortunately, people have and sent it very recently, which has made it much easier for me to find. But the other thing that I take into consideration, well, especially with you being here, Kirby. I don't know whether I mentioned it last time. It's been becoming more and more difficult for me to find the inspiration to continue doing the show. That's mainly because of I don't think a lot of people are listening these days. Obviously, we've got a very small core of hardcore. I'm going to call them fans. Because you have to be a fan to actually to listen to and watch this program, because it has been rather sort of skinned of its core elements over the years. Core elements being quizzes and games and probably things that I've stripped, like the overly long synopses and stuff like that. But there's certain bits of the show that are that I really enjoyed, and I haven't got time to do anyway, so I shouldn't really complain about it. But I just feel it's sort of, to a certain extent, been stripped of its core elements, which may have stripped it of listeners. I don't know. When I listened to Doctor Who podcasts back in the day, this is the sort of thing I'd be listening out for. Other people's opinions on Doctor Who episodes and Doctor Who things. So I'm quite happy that way. But when you see such a small amount of people still engaging with your podcast, and a podcast that's been out for a very long time, it's certainly one of the longest Doctor Who podcasts. Actually, it's probably one of the longest running Doctor Who, podcasts in the world, to be fair. Because a lot of them died. Yeah. Some of them are still going. But
yeah, we were discussing that the other day on Earth Station Who, how they're also one of the few that's still around.
Yep, there's a handful.
They didn't actually start as Earth Station Who. They started as Earth Station 1 with Who content. Mm-hmm. But it was during the great years of Doctor Who that they realized they needed to split away. Yeah. And now Earth Station 1 is pretty much dead, and just Earth Station Who is going.
Well, there was Radio Free Skaro, the DWO Who.
Yeah, they're still going. Yeah.
Loads of sort of things like Tim Jury was going before we were, and Tin Dog, things like that. So there's a few that may or may not have been going for the same length, if not longer, than we have.
I hate to say this, but I stopped listening to Tin Dog for a while when he got so negative about Ncuti. I've started listening to him again.
I haven't listened to any other Doctor Who podcast for many years. I hardly listen to this one, to be fair, so I can't believe he sort of complain to you lot about not listening to it. But I know that, occasionally I might sort of go back and listen and realise it's still quite a good show.
I listen to Tim religiously, because he's really the one other than us that I will take time. And then Earth Station Who I will listen to occasionally.
It's funny, the only podcast I actually listen to is a BBC Radio 5 Live football podcast called 606. I listen to that very regularly.
One of the interesting things about... Sorry.
No, sorry, carry on.
One of the interesting things about listening to Tim is that he is also doing the journey, and we keep shifting back and forth. We're almost exactly at the same place.
Yeah, that's going to fall apart
and,
soon,
and we shift. We would be ahead if we hadn't taken this time off. But
you're blaming me. Oh, I get it.
No. He would get ahead of us for several weeks, and then he takes 4 or 6 weeks to do interviews from conventions.
Right.
And then used to give us time to catch up.
Yeah, I've got loads of interviews from conventions I still haven't posted on the YouTube channel. But I think where the podcast lands on our YouTube channel and then gets banned in certain countries due to copyright issues.
Now, if I could say this, if you do plan, I remember a few years ago you were getting to the point where you may have wanted to stop. And I was all against it. And at the moment, if you ever want to stop, I have no problem.
Oh, that's nice. Well, that says it all, doesn't it? Anyway, going back.
But although I hope that we do continue, because this is fun.
Oh, it is fun. It's doing it. It's fun. But I don't know, for some reason it's... Oh, anyway, what I was trying to get to, and I didn't get there then, when you were talking about other people, you said Tim's podcast. What Tim were you referring to?
Tim Drury.
Sorry, I was legally contracted to do
I know, I was expecting that.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm trying to get to is that the very small amount of fans, stroke listeners, people that stream the show, you can tell that because we don't get an awful lot of feedback in, apart from the people that thankfully always provide us with feedback. Well, that indicates to me that we don't have a lot of people listening in and tuning into the show. When I look at my TikTok platform, and there's nearly 6,000 followers, and most of those are fans of Southampton Football Club. So I know that all the things I do for my Southampton FC vlogs and stuff get about probably 10 to 20 times more traction. I know they're only short videos, that's the reason why probably, than the Doctor Who stuff. That sort of inspires me to carry on doing that, and sort of enhancing that a bit more. I have a lot of fun doing that. And this is why I'm quite a loyal person, so I'm quite loyal to the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast, because it's a podcast. So everybody is doing podcasts now. Not a lot of people were doing them back in the day when we started. And a lot of people are that sort of follow my other exploits on social media are quite impressed by the fact I'm an experienced podcaster. But and also I really wanted to get to the end of the journey as well. But it's just something that's really I'm struggling with in my mind as to carrying on this show, because we don't have enough news.
Oh yeah, I understand. I understand, and if you decide to stop, but it would be nice to finish to get to a point where we have finished the journey. That Absolutely. Would be nice.
That's what I'm thinking. It's difficult getting there. It's getting more and more difficult. It's like climbing like a ladder. It's about 3 miles long, and you're on the last few rungs to get up to the top. And that's what it feels like to me. I mean, if I felt like we were getting a lot of new listeners and new people downloading the show, new people that enjoy it, then that would inspire me to think, oh, actually, no, maybe I should. But at the moment, because I'm getting such a lot of traction with football stuff, and I think, oh, what the hell? This hardly takes any of my time doing the football stuff. Something will happen, I'll report about it, put it on TikTok or YouTube, maybe on Mondays or whatnot. Job done, and you get people coming up, you see them. Oh, I saw you on Martin's TikTok channel and stuff like that. And it's just a bit more engaging for me. I mean, I love my listeners, the people that have been on the show, viewing the show and contributed over the years. I regard them as friends, and I'm so grateful for the support that those people do, and who we are. You've given me, even some of the other podcasters that have piped up, like Tim, like we say, and shown that we do a good job on the show. But it's just getting that inspiration to carry on is difficult. I've rambled on enough.
Part of it, if I can put my 2 cents in, or 2 pence, part of it is also that Doctor Who is simply not the phenomenon it used to be.
That's not the reason why. Not for me personally.
No.
It is in my heart, Kirby. It is a phenomenon. It always has been, always will be.
Well, for us, yes, but I'm talking about just for the people who were our audience for a long time there. Okay. When I remember 10 years ago going into my local pharmacy and seeing 2 magazines on the magazine stand with Doctor Who right on the front cover.
Yeah.
And those days are currently gone. Okay. I don't know if they'll ever come back.
Well, young Sheldon, there was a great scene in which the very last 2 episodes where young Sheldon, comes out of the TARDIS wearing the 7th Doctor's costume. Yes. That was a big thrill. And at the time that was recorded, it wasn't.
I don't know if you remember, but when that actually happened,
I tried to blank it out because it was a spoiler.
I made a short video of just that segment and put it on the 20 megabyte.
Do you know how naughty that was?
Group that you could.
Yeah, but do you know how naughty that was? Because that was a major spoiler for me as a fan of Young Sheldon. Major spoiler. Anyway, right. So,
yeah, and with things like this news that. Well,
now, hang on, we're not on news yet. Stop jumping ahead. We haven't finished with feedback yet.
Well, I finished my feedback.
Well, I haven't finished mine.
All right, I will wait for the news, but I just want to remember to say something.
You will remember, because your memory will be jogged when I report on it.
Fine.
Right.
Fine.
Back to the feedback. This is from Terry Miles. Again, like I say, people who have become friends just for their just amazing support. And Alan Butcher and others. But anyway, this is what you know. It takes you, and I apologise for my inability to read stuff. I'll read it slowly to see if I can read it a bit better. The fam rock up on the shore of a Norwegian fjord in winter. Sure they did. There wasn't any snow on top of the hills around said fjord. Well, it might be midsummer. Norway is covered in snow in late October till March. That's why our Royal Marines train there in mountain warfare. Yes, I know it's in the universe. Sorry, I nearly went universe. It's in the universe. They have different weather patterns. Of course they do. It's whatever fits the script. After breaking into a blind girl's house, I'm amazed she didn't attack them instead of hiding. Ella Warwick, who played Hannah, is brilliant. Sorry, was brilliant. Yes, I said is because I agree with him. So, they have a two-way mirror that is a portal to a parallel universe where everything is reversed as in mirrored. Jodie's hair parting changed sides and Eric's t-shirt logo was reversed. I never noticed that. Oh, well.
Yes, we discussed that when we first reviewed this.
I didn't realise. I'd sort of noticed it being back to front, but I didn't really pick. Oh well, never mind. Eric leaving his.
And we had to explain to Mary who Slayer was.
Oh, Eric leaving his daughter alone for his dead wife had me reaching for the phone to call Norwegian Child Protection. Absolutely, me too. The old reverse polarity trick. It worked for John Pertwee, John Pertwee's doctor many times. Okay. I put it off for too long. What was Kermit the Frog doing impersonating Grace? Some quotes.
Wasn't Kermit, it was Robin the Frog.
Whatever. Some quotes, you'll like these. Doctor, she's not your wife. She's furniture with a pulse. Yaz, you had a grandmother? Doctor, I had 7, but Granny 5, my favourite, used to tell me about solid tract. Solid tract, is that right? About the solid tract. I'm very bad at reading out these things. Yaz.
You should have given it to me. It's too late now.
No, I'm nearly all the way through now. Yaz, what if you do something it hasn't dealt with before, like reverse the polarity or something? Doctor, Yasmin Khan, you speak my language. The Battle of Ranskoor av Kolos. The doctor cannot resist answering a distress call, so when she received 9 at once, she of course dashes to the rescue, only to find a battlefield with what looks like the remains of the ships that sent out the distress calls. Mark Addy as Paltraki is great as the amnesia-suffering captain. The fam go off to find Paltraki's missing crew. Who do they find in charge but Tim Shaw, or Tsinkie, depending how you want to spell it, T-Z-I-N, oh, never mind, as is what his real name is. They beat him and release all the prisoners and a few words of imprison Tim Shaw. Oh, sorry, and a few worlds, I misread that, and imprison Tim Shaw. Few quotes. Doctor, keep your faith, travel hopefully, the universe will surprise you constantly. Graham, yippee-ki-yay robots. Oh, Yippee-ki-yay, sorry, Yippee-ki-yay robots, yeah. Sorry. Next up, the New Year's Day 2019 show called Resolution. Linda and Terry, thank you, Linda and Terry. Saw them a few weeks ago, actually. They came to the Isle of Wight. And I've got to get a jingle ready. Beg your pardon?
The thing about Resolution that always bothered me is that it's just a Chibs thing, but it should have been called Resolution of the Daleks.
Well, you know why it wasn't. They were supposed to keep it as a secret, but then the BBC blurted it out anyway, so they might as well have done it.
It wasn't a secret, that's the whole thing. So they should have just renamed it.
Yep. Anyway.
That's what I refer to it as.
There's some good-looking Daleks in that story, though. I think I've got one.
No, I didn't like them at all. But
no, there was one good one. I've got it as a Funko Pop. Anyway.
We'll discuss it
nearly
later.
Yes, here we go.
Hello, 20 Megabyte Podcast. This is Ian Kirk.
Hang on, I'll just stop it there. Could you hear that, Kirby?
I heard the Star Trek cue.
Right, so I reckon what it is, why you can't hear it, is to do with downloading. So, if I can find up where it was originally, it's like, where the hell, there it is, right. I'll see if I can download it and play it from my download folder, see if that works any better. Download, where's the download button gone on this thing? I don't like this new Outlook, it's rubbish. Oh, something there. Oh, here it is. Just talk amongst yourselves for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Right, downloads. Here we are. Let's see if this works. If you can't hear it, tough. Oh, hang on. I've got to play it first. Sorry.
Yes.
Hello, 20 Megabyte Podcast. This is Ian Kirk. It Takes You Away by Ed Heim. By coincidence, reviewing this at Halloween, and it is spooky. Wandering through passages, this time with moths, but not in a web planet fashion. Possibly inspired by a Nordic detective on TV. With a nod to Gollum and Alice Through the Looking Glass. Both Eric of the guest characters and Graham of the TARDIS crew have to accept that their wives have died, and the alternate reality is trying to seduce them with fake versions. The Doctor talks to a frog at the end, the only character who will never croak. The blind child Han is played by blind actress Emmy Walwork.
Yep.
The Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos by Chris Chibnall. Tim Shaw is back to bookend this season. Yep. He's trying to destroy the Earth.
Sod. Not
a huge season finale. Graham and Ryan get emotional scenes and character development. No real battle though. Graham has a bit of a battle with himself over whether to avenge himself for the death of his wife. Bye for now.
Thank you, Ian, and sorry I didn't start the feedback with the usual when he says hello 20 Megabyte Podcast, and I normally go hello Ian, but I forgot to say it on that particular show. I was just trying to work out how to get you to hear it. And I know you heard it, Kirby, because Lillian's told me she heard it. Well, okay. Oh, you are there?
Yeah, where else would I be?
Oh, I don't know.
I'm in a corridor between universes.
Right. Okay, right. So, Doctor Who news.
Oh, is there?
Yes, Doctor Who news. That's loaded up now. Okay, so, since the last show, the actor Tony Cornter has died at the age of 88. He was a well-known actor who appeared in numerous roles in British television. Died. What?
Okay. Lots of people have died.
Let me get there one space at a time. I'm devoting this section to Tony.
Why are you starting? So that's just the 15th of October. We recorded way before then.
Yeah, but the stuff before then, I've already done.
Oh, okay. I see. Never mind.
Okay. Right. So Tony Cornter. Sorry. Yeah, he was in he played Thatcher in The Crusade, and then he was in Colony in Space and Enlightenment. I think he was in Was he in EastEnders once? I think he was in EastEnders for a while as well. Yeah, he's quite a well-known face on British TV. So obviously in Blake 7 as well. The Avengers, Casualty, London's Burn. He's done loads of stuff. He was just a jobbing actor on TV. So so I didn't realise he'd gone. I only found that out when I was looking through the news page. I've got to play this.
This is Nabil Shabad, and you are listening to the 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast.
Yes, a friend of the show, and Nabil Shaban has passed away at the age of 72. Obviously best remembered for playing Syl in 2 Doctor Who stories, Vengeance on Varos and Mind Warp, and he also played or reprised Syl in a private sort of story that was created quite recently. He was a right character when we had him on the show, wasn't he? And it was he was funny and engaging, slightly. I wasn't going to say bubbly. I'd say he's got quite a bubbly character, and it was really quite good fun the time he gave us for his interviews. So that's for us personally.
Did we have him twice?
I don't know. I can't remember having him twice.
I think we had him twice.
Maybe one of our faithful listeners can tell us. I don't remember. Why would we have him on twice? I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know why we would. It's maybe because he was such a dynamic guest. It just felt like he'd been on twice.
I'll search later because remember I do have this.
The database.
I'm just not sure.
Okay, but yeah, what a character he was, and what a character he played too. Of course, we had both of them on the show really because him and his other sort of species member, played by Christopher Ryan, who came to FantasyCon 1 and was interviewed by Ben at the event, and I'm pretty sure we got some audio of that. Back in the day, back in the archive, the 20 megabyte archive. So yes, a sad loss. And there's news about the war between the land and the sea, which is launching in December, and will probably be the last Doctor Who thing to
we have a date
on Disney Plus. This just says late December. Doesn't have a specific date, but we do have a date for the next episode of Doctor Who, Kirby. Christmas 2026. Apparently, it's going to be the Christmas special 2026. Despite the fact that Disney Plus is decided to end its partnership with the BBC, the BBC, as far as I could read of the articles I read from the Radio Times Post, plans to continue with Doctor Who more or less as its flagship international production. And so Russell T Davies is certainly going to be involved and probably writing the Christmas special of 2026. What they haven't done is announced or confirmed the Doctor. At the moment, it is more looking like Billy Piper is going to be playing the part for at least some of that episode, because we've just seen the Doctor look like he has changed into she again. So maybe that will be confirmed a little bit, or maybe when they start filming, I don't know. But it's still good news for me personally that Doctor Who will return, even if it's just for the one episode on Christmas 2026. What do you think of that thing, Kirby?
Okay, well this ties into what I was trying to say before, but Christmas a year from now, my goodness.
But at least that's coming back.
But the big problem is that you were saying the BBC worldwide. No, that one of the reasons why Doctor Who is not big anymore is, first of all, I don't think that many people watch the Disney Plus versions, even though I really enjoyed them. That here in the States, that plus BritBox, plus a few other places where, if you know where to look, are for classic. There is no real way to watch New Who here in the States. I'm not sure about most of the rest of the world. The 2005 from Eggleston to I said it that way on purpose. Eggleston to Jodie. It's not here. We do not have a way of watching it. which if you can't watch it, it's hard to. I run across people all the time where I go, hey, I'm watching this great show. I've been watching this great show forever. I wish that I could get you to watch it, but I don't want to start them with Ncuti.
Right.
I want to start them with probably Tenet.
Yeah, fine.
And it's hard to do that because there's no real easy way to do it. And that the fact that it's just not that big anymore. Yeah, I would suspect that most of the people who are still listening to this podcast are British, maybe. Plus the real
half and
diehards
half, I'd say.
Huh?
Half and half, I'd say.
Yeah.
We've always had more listeners across the pond than we've had in Britain.
But it's just not a thing anymore.
Okay.
I wish it were, because I'll die a Doctor Who fan.
Yeah.
But
Well, the BBC
no
must
matter
know
what.
something we don't, otherwise they wouldn't bother making it, because it must cost quite a lot of money to make.
Well, I suspect that they're working on a way of doing the same thing with some other streaming service.
Yeah.
The way that the Beeb
Maybe Netflix.
has the Hooniverse set up.
Do you know who?
where
I think the most likely candidate is going to be Amazon, because Amazon like to try everything. They've even tried Neighbours, for goodness sake, to bring that back when it died. So Amazon, they've got loads of money, haven't they? So it could end up being
Amazon, or it's going to be Netflix, which would be interesting because we used to watch classic on Netflix way back in the day. But it's got to be out there in a consolidated form, where you can watch it all without shift. I mean, it was bad enough there when it was on 3 different services. Here, I mean, to you it's one service. We had BritBox, and I'm canceling BritBox. I
thought we'd already cancelled it.
Well, unfortunately, I paid for a year, so it doesn't. It still has a few weeks left.
Okay.
I actually watched it. I actually turned on BritBox a couple of weeks ago to watch Silver Nemesis, even though I have it on disc 2 other ways.
Yeah.
But I happened to be in a different room. I didn't want to get a disc. So we used to be able to watch it on BritBox for Classic, whatever you call it, Max, HBO Max, whatever, for New Who, and then Disney Plus. And I like to start people with New Who, and it's just not there.
Okay.
And one thing though is that in the past year, because of this difficulty and the fact that I'm dropping BritBox, I hate to say this, but much of my original classic Who was from other means. But I have been now buying all of the Blu-rays, which I love. The collected season ones. Yeah. And I am only one, besides the Tom Baker one coming out. I know it came out for you a couple of weeks ago. It comes out here in January. Mm-hmm. Which one is it? I think it's what is it? I think it's Tom season some. I don't know.
That was worth waiting for. Oh dear.
I think it may be Tom season 1. Right. No, it's Tom season 2. Yeah. There it is.
Make your mind up.
I've got that one on pre-order. I'm only missing, of the ones that have come out, I'm only missing, looks like Call-In season 1.
Yeah.
I just need to buy it and get it, and then I'll have a whole shelf of everything that has come out on those Blu-rays, and I will continue to get those as long as they put them out. Because I really want things so I don't have to rely on streaming services.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you, Kirby. I'm just Yeah, so I was just trying to see if I can find definitely not any more feedback for the show. Anyway, yeah, I was talking earlier on about ratings, not so much ratings. It's the whether it's worth the average listenership or download from the Podbean site for quite a few episodes now is 50.
Yes.
So that tells me we've got a regular listenership of 50 people through that medium. Obviously, some other people watch through YouTube. Some people, listen through YouTube. Some people listen through Spotify. So I don't think it's a great amount, but 50 is okay. But for the amount of effort that goes into producing the show, I'm not sure whether that's worth it or not. I know it's worth it to the people who've stuck with us all through that time. But, if you go further back in time, some of the episodes hit humongous quantities. Episode 576 isn't too bad, 101. So I think it's people like pick it up from quite a while back and they gradually work their way through, and that's when the numbers start going up. But the weird thing is, the one I've just published that we recorded a month ago, immediately it says compared to average plus 36.84%, 26 downloads already since I published it earlier on this evening. Sounds like me that the 50 people that normally listen to the show have sort of, oh my god, a new episode's out, whoa! And they're the people that will always listen to it. But yeah, I'd have to sort of take deep consideration as to whether that plus the hardcore people who listen, it's going to be no more than 100 people, is it? I don't know. But we've done a lot of the show. There's no reason not to be proud of it, because we've done a lot of stuff, really, really good stuff off the back of the programme, during the programme, and we've achieved a hell of a lot. And so whatever happens, I think we should all be very, very proud of ourselves for what this programme has done over the years. And we'll obviously, when we do, and it will happen, it will come to an end. When we do that, we'll make a big fuss of it. Right, I'm not going to do what we watched in the last month, because I really can't remember what we watched.
I can't remember either. Except I continue to watch 66 Batman, although we're now into 67 Batman.
Oh, by the way, my grandson will like you then, Kirby, because Grayson's suddenly become a fan of Batman after being a fan of dinosaurs, and maybe still is, I don't know.
Well,
so yeah, he'll be right on board with that, although he's too young to watch Batman. Of course,
oh, okay, he's too young to appreciate a podcast about it.
He'd probably like the 60s TV series better than the stuff that's on at the moment. A bit more sort of fun. Anybody out there that is of the 50 people that regularly download the programme, if you're also interested in Southampton Football Club, just go to various social media platforms at the Saints Adam, all in no spaces. It's at the Saints Adam. That'll be on TikTok and on your YouTube. And there is a Facebook page I've just started up. If you want to watch my ugly mug moaning about the plight of my favourite football team.
And you already know that I'm not interested at all.
That really is irrelevant.
Sorry.
Really is irrelevant. Anyway, because that will obviously will be carried on after the show finishes. Pardon? What?
It's not irrelevant. It's a hippopotamus. That's a quote from Flanders and Swan around 1958.
Thank you for that added on detail to that statement. I just need to find out where we are next time.
Calendar. Maybe we just need to.
No, not for when recording, because I think I've got a show to film next week. I'm just seeing
we need to get the women back on the podcast. Us men are boring.
I've got to cuddle off Debbie Melrose during the week, and because she came to see me at the shop a few weeks previous, and apparently I gave her COVID. Didn't realise I had it, so it's not my big fault. Right,
yes, it is.
Jodie Whittaker episode guide. So the next one is Resolution
of the Daleks, and
followed by Spyfall. So we're just going to have to do Resolution on its own, because Spyfall's 2 parts.
Yeah, or we could do Spyfall. Well, let's see. We've been nattering for an hour on 2 episodes. We could theoretically do both parts of Spyfall together. Up to you. No? Okay.
No. We'll do Resolution, and that won't be next week, like I say, because next week is I might be doing Kay's show. Oh damn, I don't even know if Kay's still doing a show. Blast. I need to find that out. Whether I might have to get back to you on that one. But the 16th is available, and the 23rd, not the 30th at the moment, not the 7th at the moment. And then the Christmas party on the 14th. The 21st, Debbie Melrose won't be on. It's her birthday.
Why don't we skip the 9th anyway, since it's up in the air, and just do Resolution on the 16th?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
Oh, of the Daleks.
All right, whatever. Resolution with Daleks in it. Yes, we'll do that one.
Resolution of the Daleks. Now in my
Is that in your head?
calendar with the proper name.
Right, I better check. There's been nothing else coming through on the live feed. Lily and Robin, it's up to you. I'll miss you guys if you stop. Thank you, Lillian. Always rely on Lillian to say the right stuff. All right then. So in 2 weeks' time, we plan. Whether it happens or not, we could not say, because things happen all the time in my life. But if they do, it'll be Resolution on whatever date Kirby said a second ago, which was the 16th of November. But if you're listening on demand, that could be any time, couldn't it, really? It'll be next week, or the next day, or the next hour. That's how podcasts work. But until next time, thank you for listening, watching, and taking part in the show as ever. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Fancy Pants.
The 20 Megabyte Doctor Who podcast is an APV Services production, sponsored by whowon.co.uk and lavazi.co.uk. We are proud members of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance. Doctor Who is a trademark of the BBC. No copyright infringement intended. The music on this podcast is covered by limited online music license from PRS for Music.